Hey Dino Dudes, what's up? It's me, the Media Raptor, and I'm gonna be gone for a few weeks. I'm gonna be gone to the end of July. So I'm making this review now because I've been working on some bigger videos and I'm not sure if they'll be up by then. If they are, great. If they're not, trust me, I got two really good videos coming up. I think you guys are gonna love them. But tonight, I decided to review a movie which a lot of people have been asking me if I've seen, and they get shocked when I tell them I have never seen it. And those same people are going to be even more shocked when they hear what I thought about it. Yes, guys, tonight I'm reviewing the 1975 comedy musical Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah, I haven't seen this movie. I hadn't seen this movie until about a month ago. And everyone I had talked to who liked the movie, they were saying, it's awesome, it's one of the biggest cult classics of all time, how have you not seen it? All these people who I like to talk with about movies, they're going, dude, if you love bad movies, if you love cult classics, why haven't you seen this movie? This is like the ultimate cult classic. And you haven't seen it? That's just not right, dude. Well, I finally got around to watching it. And I hated it. Yeah, this movie sucked. Yeah, it needed to be said, okay? I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this video, but what the hell? This is what I honestly think about the movie. I think it was terrible. And I can back it up. Surprisingly strong. So, let's start with, well, the movie's only real problem, the writing. This movie, to its credit, it has an awesome idea about a young couple who are just, engaged. They just stumble upon a mansion full of aliens having a party, and then so on, and crazy scenarios happen. That sounds really cool. In fact, I think that would make an awesome movie. You know what kills this movie right away, and nothing, not even the friggin' music, which is awesome, could save? The fact that literally every 10 seconds they feel the need to talk about sex. You guys, I'm gonna just be honest with you, this movie has a lot of characters. This movie, one of the main characters is a transvestite, two of the workers are brother and sister, and they actually kind of bluntly say they're in a sexual relationship. There's references and some acts of gay sex. If you choose to live this way, I want to say this right now. If you choose to live any of the ways which this movie portrays, I'm not gonna hate you. I'm not gonna agree with you. If that's a choice you have made, I'm gonna just accept it, okay? I have friends who are gay, but you know what? They made that choice, and I'm not gonna change my opinion on them. They're still great people. But there is such a thing as over-sexualization. You guys, you can have characters who are gay or transvestite. You can do that, and you can have it work. In fact, many shows actually have done it quite well. And stuff like, well, Futurama, Simpsons, they did it because those characters were side characters. And again, they knew how to write it. This movie, literally what it's trying to tell you is having sex with everyone, everywhere, anytime, anyway, no matter who they are, no matter what they are, no matter whatever, it's totally fine. So maybe it's the fact that I'm a Christian, and I'm not going to bring up a whole lot about my religion in this review because I could be here for hours. Or maybe it's just the fact that that's just a load of bullcrap. You guys, I'm trying to figure out the right things to say, because I'm just going to put it this way. The one reason why I don't like this movie, and I think it's so terrible, is because it spends so much time trying to do this weird sex appeal thing than it does trying to tell the story. The story itself is awesome. In fact, you know what? I would be willing to watch this movie with all the characters like they were if not every 5 minutes they felt the need to do something sexual. Let's just put it this way. If this movie had literally 90% of the sex stuff cut out and they didn't change the characters, I would be fine with that. Heck, I would probably love this movie. But, you guys, it's really sad when I have to say I enjoyed Fritz the Cat, which was an X-rated porno movie, which I saw about 10 minutes of and then I shut off. It's sad when I have to say I enjoyed 10 minutes of that more than I did of an hour and 40 minutes of this thing. Alright, I didn't like either of them. Don't get me wrong, I didn't like either. But I had more fun. I enjoyed Fritz the Cat more than I did the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So, yeah, our story, it really just... It's such a great idea, and yet they just mess it up. You know, you could do so much with this story, and I believe that they could have done so much more. There's all these characters who just randomly show up. Like Dr. Scott and Eddie and... well, half the people who are at the castle during the party. And they have personalities. They have really good personalities. They're likable. All the characters are likable. Except for a few, but I'll get to that. No, I'm not going to touch on that. There's so much else I need to talk about. But a lot of them tend to seem like you're supposed to know something about them before you watch the movie. And then when, for example here, Eddie gets killed, that doesn't really make a lot of sense why exactly we're supposed to care for him. Because he literally just showed up out of a freezer. Yeah, I know, it's weird. And he sings a song, which is one of the best in the entire movie, but he is played by Meatloaf, and that dude is friggin' awesome. And then he gets killed, and we're supposed to feel really sad about it. Like, I was more like, oh, that sucks. That was kind of a cool character. It wasn't like this huge emotional thing. And like, when Frankenfurter, Dr. Frankenfurter gets killed at the end, you know what? I'm spoiling this movie. It's 40 years old, guys. If you want to have seen it already, you would have seen it, okay? And after this, I really don't want to see it ever again. But when he dies, it's supposed to be this really sad, emotional thing. Like, no, it's not. I hated him. He is easily one of the most annoying characters in this entire movie. Even more than Columbia. And she, my God, every time she spoke. You guys, I have heard more pleasant sounds when I had to listen to Nickelback and Justin Bieber back to back. That's how annoying her voice was. Well, that's acting. It just seems like there's so many holes that this movie is just kind of leaving there. That either they leave or don't bother to explain beforehand, or by the end they never bothered explaining. And you're supposed to understand all this stuff that's going on. And you can't. So, yeah. Pretty much the main reason why the story fails is because they spend more time trying to have this really creepy sex appeal than they do telling a competent story. And if you guys want to make a porno, go ahead, okay? I won't watch it. I hate that stuff. I wouldn't review it for this. That's why I'm never reviewing Fritz the Cat. In fact, I probably shouldn't be talking about this movie. But don't have everyone come out and say it's one of the funniest movies ever, it's one of the greatest cult classics ever, because that too. There's barely any comedy in this. At least comedy that's funny. The few bits of comedy that are actually funny are fourth wall breaks, and even those, they rarely happen. So, yeah, the writing just sucks on pretty much every level aside from characters. And pretty much with characters, they're likable by the end. You won't care really what happens to them, because Brad and Janet go from being this perfect couple, like all so polite, so clean, to just unlikable people. And I guess that was the movie's intent, but I don't know, it was a weird attempt. Moving on, acting. Strangely enough, as much as I can knock the writing, the acting's fantastic, aside from Little Neil. You guys, if you were to watch this movie, and I don't recommend the movie, if you were to watch it though, Tim Curry is amazing. While the writing itself doesn't get a lot of laughs, his acting made me laugh a little bit. Because he is just so insanely over the top. He is just hamming it up. He is shouting. He is acting like so bizarre that it works. It somehow works. So, yeah. And all the other actors, aside from Little Neil, do really good jobs. And probably the best actor in the whole thing was Meatloaf, but then again, Meatloaf is Meatloaf. He was able to make his role in Blood Rain look at least decent. And that was an Uwe Boll movie, guys. That's telling you how bad it was. So, if the movie is worth watching at all, it's not, but there is one thing which would make it almost worth it. The music. This is one of the greatest soundtracks I've ever heard. So much so, guys, I hate this movie, okay? I really do. But I got the soundtrack on my iPod, okay? Stuff like the Time Warp, Eddie, Science Fiction Double Feature. What else is there? Well, those 3 songs at least are... Well, all the songs are ridiculously catchy. And to be honest, it's kind of hard not just to get pulled away in the zany, fun, enjoyable lyrics of them, aside from stuff like I Can Make You a Man. Well, that was really the only song I didn't like, and that was just because that was just a creepy song. Even Touch Me, I kind of enjoyed at least. It was catchy, it was kind of funny. The scene of the movie where it was being used was incredibly weird. Oh, and Rose Tint My World, that was the other song I didn't like that much. But if you want to know why, it's just all the problems I was talking about with the writing. They're just being thrown to the center stage. So the music practically saves this movie. Alright? The music is amazing. And really, if you have a choice between watching the movie for the soundtrack or just going onto YouTube and listening to the songs, go use YouTube, guys. The songs are up there, or just borrow the CD. I borrowed it from a library and just copied them over. The music's great. The music is by far the highest point in this entire movie. Special effects, it's a 70s movie, so I can't exactly be like, oh, these effects were so terrible, because it was a low-budget film to begin with, and the effects are pretty bad, especially after 41 years. But you know what? For the kind of movie it is, it works. But for some reason, the Blu-ray I rented, because I borrowed it from the library again, I don't know why I said rent, the picture and audio quality was really low for a Blu-ray. And that was surprising, because it was a Blu-ray, and when do Blu-rays have bad quality? I can't really think I've ever seen one before. The only other problem, and again, this is more, it was made in the 70s, and there might have been a bad transfer, was the audio was off in some places. The music was perfect. But sometimes the dialogue, if they had to talk during a song, it was really quiet. It was like, yes, we need to talk right now, but... And they would be like, yeah, we're singing. Yeah, we're talking. And those were very few and far in between, so they're not enough to ruin the movie, but... yeah, I just still feel like mentioning it. So guys, when it comes down to it, can I recommend Rocky Horror Picture Show? No. I'm giving this thing half a raptor claw out of 4, only because of the music. If the music wasn't there, this would have been the worst movie I have ever seen. And I've seen the Twilight movies. You guys, don't watch the movie, okay? I don't get why it became so big. I don't understand why for 40 years there's still midnight showings of it. And you know what sucks? I wanted to love this movie. For maybe the first 20 minutes, I was laughing, I was having a great time, I thought it was awesome. And then, once they get to the castle, everything just kind of goes downhill and never climbs back up until Meatloaf shows up for 2 minutes. And then they kill him. And then they go Tales from the Crypt, what's cooking on him, if you don't know what I mean. Ironically, he was in that episode as well, just go watch that. You know what? I'm probably gonna go watch that once I'm done this. You guys, this movie, it's not worth watching even out of curiosity. Alright? It isn't. The music's worth listening to, but don't bother watching it. And for the remake coming out this year, I might watch it just because I kind of have a habit of like torturing myself with stuff like this. But I would not expect a review on it. Like, at all. So you guys, this movie sucked. I'm gonna go watch a good sci-fi movie. I'm gonna go watch Predator 2. That was a good sci-fi movie. And a good horror movie. It wasn't a good musical, but then again, what would Predator the musical be? Man, I don't even want to think. Okay, man. Okay, with that note, guys, let's just call it a night. And until next time, this is the Meteor Raptor saying, keep cool, and I will see you guys around. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm gonna be gone for a bit, but hey, once we're back, whole overhaul. It's gonna be awesome.